and welcome. I'm Jiao Yang, and this is our special coverage of a science lecture coming to us from the China Space Station. Now, we're soon to be watching the third installment of the Tiangong Class, and it is also the first time that China's taikonauts will be live streaming a lecture from the Wentian lab module. And that is scheduled to start at 3:45 p.m. Beijing time. That's in just about 15 minutes. And it will be delivered by the Shenzhou 14 crew who are currently on the space station, Chen Dong, Liu Yang and Xuzhe. There will also be some Q&A time with students in China. Now for the latest, our reporter Sun Ye joins us from the Beijing Aerospace Control Center. Hi Sun Ye, so what can we look forward to today, and what's different from other lectures in the past?
Hey there, Jiao Yang. So we are minutes away from the first ever lesson in space to be given by the Shenzhou 14 crew. And as you said, this is the first ever lesson in space to be broadcast from the Wentian Space Lab module. And you will see behind me, this is also the first time a new main classroom on the ground is used at the Chinese Academy of Sciences. And as you see a little bit on my left, this is the first ever lesson in space to be taking place as China Space Station Assembly takes a L-shaped configuration. And down there, that is the Wentian Space Lab module where this lesson is going to take place. And according to the syllabus given to us a little bit earlier, the Shenzhou 14 crew, you're seeing that's the commander Chen Dong there. They will be showing the millions of students watching across China all around the space lab module, which they help assemble this summer. And they're also going to be doing a range of experiments from physics, chemistry, and something biological or botanical, showing these to the students. Something we have heard a bit earlier, they are going to actually show how water becomes lazy in space and how plants grow in zero gravity. So a lot of things to look forward to this afternoon, Jiao Yang.
Absolutely, we'll keep our eyes peeled. And Sonia, these taikonauts, they've been up there at the station since June. What have they been doing?
Well, for today, the taikonauts, the Shenzhou 14 crew, they've been rehearsing and prepping for this lesson we're talking about, which is going to begin in just minutes. And they've actually been rehearsing for this class days in advance now. Now their final preparation, you will see there, they are making final checkups and statuses for the classroom. But of course, they are doing a lot more. We know of the Shenzhou 14 crew as the busiest crew ever. It is them that help assemble the Wentian Space Lab module, which is going to be showcased to millions of students today. That is also the largest, heaviest spacecraft China has ever assembled. And while the Shenzhou 14 crew, they also have enough experiences interacting with the younger generation. If you still remember, a little while ago, they were talking to the younger generation from different countries in Africa. And there they also get a sense of what 10-year-olds are most interested in. And we believe those experiences are going to speak into today's lessons. And everything here at the Beijing Control Center is all set across the systems from in space and on the ground. And what we are doing right now is, of course, like you, to sit back and learn in the afternoon. Jiao Yang.
All right, thank you so much. That's Sun Ye in Beijing for us. China is scheduled to finish the construction of its space station by the end of this year. Now, this project symbolizes the country's steady progress in space exploration and international cooperation. Here's Zheng Yibing with more.
China's space station is orbiting the Earth some 400 kilometers above us. 3 crews have conducted a total of 6 spacewalks since its core module was sent into space in April last year. Now the combination of the module, a lab, a spacecraft, and a cargo ship is preparing to dock with a second lab to eventually form a T-shape and complete the station.
The biggest structure of the China space station consists of 3 modules and 3 spacecraft with a total weight of about 100 tons. It will be spectacular once it's completed.
To do this, China has made great efforts in the past 10 years. Chinese scientists have designed, manufactured, and tested the various parts of the station. During this period, the time of docking in space has been shortened from 44 hours to just 7, and that of the taikonauts' stay in space has increased from 13 days to half a year.
Our space station is not flying on its own. There is a complete and powerful aerospace system that guarantees its smooth operation.
China is preparing to send the fourth crew into the station soon, and also recruiting the new generation of taikonauts.
When we select astronauts, we consider their personalities and their compatibility with the mission and with each other. So far, the taikonaut team of China has 3 cohorts.
The taikonauts have conducted several scientific experiments in the first lab module, and will do more in the second lab that is to be docked with the station soon.
The purpose of the experiments involving the life ecological cabinets is to study the effects of microgravity on plants and animals in space. This is to lay a foundation for humans to one day live in space.
The China Manned Space Agency says the country has begun to work with other countries for future missions in the station, as well as projects like lunar and Mars probes to benefit all human beings. China's space station symbolizes the phased result of the country's 30-year manned space program, and the country is planning new goals for space exploration and welcoming international cooperation. Zheng Yibing, CGTN, Beijing.
All right, I'm joined in the studio now by Professor Yang Yuguang, who's with the China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation, and he's also the Vice Chair of the Space Transportation Committee at the International Astronautical Federation. Professor Yang, great to have you here with us, and we're watching that class together. Now, we're relying on you for some insider information here. What sort of experiments do you think we can expect to see from our astronauts up there?
Well, you know that usually during this kind of class in orbit, usually we show the difference between the microgravity field and the Earth. So today we also will introduce the different phenomena, different physical phenomena, such as the behavior of liquid and also other phenomena. And also just before the class today, the China Manned Space Agency also encouraged the young people and high school students to also perform the experiments also at the same moment simultaneously on the ground. So this is very interesting.
Yeah, that will definitely be different. So I actually watched one of the last lectures that was given by the previous crew as well. I'm assuming you did as well. Was there anything that you really liked from the last time?
Well, you see that that last time Ms. Wang Yaping, also the first teacher of China, conducted 2 space classes during the Shenzhou 30 mission. Well, this time it will be the first class taken by the Shenzhou 14 crew. So it's different. You know that Ms. Liu Yang is not only the first female astronaut of China, but also she is a very important crew member of this Shenzhou 14 crew. And during this mission, they've already conducted so many great works. For instance, such as the coming of the Wentian module, and the Shenzhou 14 crew has ensured the safety and also the normal docking of the Wentian module. And also Liu Yang becomes the second female astronaut conducting EVA during this mission.
Right.
So I think the introduction of their work, their daily work in the station is also will be a very important part of today's class. So let's wait and see.
Yeah, and this crew up here will have a lot of experience to share with us as well. And you mentioned the Wentian lab module. So this particular lecture is going to be broadcast from the Wentian.
Exactly.
That was launched end of July. So is that going to make things much different?
Yes, quite right. Let's go back into history. You see that the first space class we taken was in 2013 in the Shenzhou 10 mission. At that moment, we should notice that the total volume of the classroom is only 15 cubic meters. Where during the Shenzhou 30 mission, the classroom is the Tianghe 1 core module. The total inner volume is already 50 cubic meters, so it's already much larger. But this time the inner volume is almost doubled. So this time with the coming of the Wentian module, so they have more information to introduce to the audience, also to the students. So I believe this will be a very exciting moment for the students, because you know that the Tianhe core module is a right place to manage the whole station. But the important part of the important role of the Wentian module is to conducting scientific research. I believe the young students will be very interested in these kind of experiments conducted, especially the life science and also the space medicine science in this Wentian module. So I think today the introduction of their work inside this Wentian module will be also a very not only interesting, not only exciting, but also very meaningful for our students.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Wentian module has been there for 3 months, so a lot of progress perhaps have been made on some of these experiments that we hear about. So, I mean, these classes, they are fun to watch. But aside from that, what, apart from it being interesting, why is China doing this? What's the motivation for these classes?
Well, I think there's no exception that all space-capable nations recognize the manned space activity or the manned space station as a very important and a very effective platform for outreach and education. You see that the initiative of human beings to go to outer space, one of the purpose is to know about the universe, to explore the secret, the mysterious universe. So the visiting of the human being in outer space is the most exciting one activities of all the space activities. So everybody interested in that, and also there are so many examples. Either the astronauts, scientists, engineers, they choose their lifespan career to this field just because they saw the activities of other astronauts. So there's no doubt that the space station will be a very, very ideal place for this kind of education. This not only will be very important for the recruitment of the space technology, of the high technology, but also very, very important for the development of the whole society and the progress of whole human being.
Professor, I'm going to put you on the spot here, right? Say if you were up there at the space station and you were about to give this lecture, what kind of experiment would you really like to do?
Well, you see that in fact, as an engineer, I will show the most favorite part. I will show not the difference between the microgravity field and the Earth, but I will show the daily work I do.
Okay.
So you know that you will be more familiar about that, and you show the very complicated task you introduce to the audience. That is also a very high requirement to these technicians. So it is challenging, but it is meaningful. So my favorite is the introduction of our scientific research.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm sure we'll see some of that as well. And if not, maybe you can send them some advice for them to show that to us next time. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about the Xuzhe, about the space station itself. So China is scheduled to finish this all by the end of this year, right?
Yes.
So we've got a couple of months left on the schedule. What can we expect for this crew up there?
Well, according to the information in the social media, in the central media of China, that's the Wentian module. The last module of our station has already reached the Hainan, the Wentian spacecraft launch site. And also its rocket, the Long March 5B rocket, is already there. And also there is a very exciting news that the propellant has been already filled into the module. So I think there will be we will not wait for very long for the launch of this Wentian module. And after the Wentian module is launched into orbit and docked to the station, we can see that the most critical steps for the construction of the station has already been accomplished.
It will be complete by then,
yes,
right?
And
the full shape of the space
not
station,
the docking itself, but just like the Wentian module. First, the Wentian module will dock to the front docking port and then transfer to the side berthing port. At that moment, we can see that the T-shaped formation has already been formed, and we can recognize that as the completion of the construction of our station.
So right now it's in an L shape, isn't it?
Exactly. So we already changed from the I-shaped formation to the L-shaped formation. It is very difficult. That China has never done this before, and that the front docking port is quite different from the side berthing port. They do not have much relative measuring instruments on the side berthing port. So mainly we use the very special, we call the formation transfer mechanism to accomplish this. You can recognize that as a very small robotic arm. But that's the difficulty is, the challenge is, we have never done this before.
Right.
So this is the first time that China accomplished this complex task. And also we have a backup measure to ensure the safety. During the Shenzhou 30 mission, we use the Tiangong 2 cargo ship to simulate the module, Wentian or Wentian module. And we use the robotic arm to grab this Tiangong 2 and change it from the front docking port to the side berthing port. So this is a warming up exercise to ensure this formation transfer as a backup measure. And I always emphasize that the Shenzhou 14 crew is not only those witness of the construction of the station, but they are also the very important ones to ensure the safety and the success of the construction. So during any cases, for instance, during the docking, if the automatic docking has some malfunction, they will change to the manual docking mode, and they can drive the Wentian module to dock with the station very successfully.
And they've obviously trained this for this a million times. And so once we have the T shape, how would the Wentian expand the function of the space station?
You may notice that on the tail of the Wentian module, we already have a very huge pair of solar wings. The area of even the one single wing, the area is more than 110 square meters. So it is very huge. And also there are similar ones on the Wentian module. With these two huge pairs of solar wings, we can have very powerful output of electricity. So this is a basic requirement, and which can ensure we can conduct all kinds of scientific research. And you know that because, as I've already mentioned, the Wentian module has a function of the backup of the management of the Tianhe-1. It means that if any malfunction happened to the Tianhe-1, the Wentian module can also charge of the whole station. And also there are 3 bedrooms in the Wentian module. So
more people can stay up there.
But in the Wentian module is purely dedicated to scientific research. So we can expect that there are more scientific research parks in the Wentian module.
All right, well, Professor Yang, perfect timing there. So we are now looking at some pictures, live pictures of the lecture.
Welcome to the 3rd edition of the Tiangong Class. Welcome you all. And today for the main class is located in a very special place. This is the load center of the CSU. So I'm Songlei. I'm from the Technology and Engineering Center for Space Utilization, Chinese Academy of Science. My name is Bai Ye. I'm from Peking University Affiliated Middle School. And today we will have our taikonauts to provide lectures to you all. And together with us, we also have 3 different classes. They are located in Shandong, Henan, and the Yunnan province. So for Shandong, Xuzhe is also the hometown for the pioneer, and also the class is located in number 1 middle school of Xuzhe. And for the Henan class is located in the Technology Museum, and also for the Yunnan province, the class is located in the New Century Middle School. So in the main class, we have students from around Beijing. Please say hi to the students in other places. Dear students, so you could see that it's full of technology in our main class. This is the place where Mr. Song works. So you just talk about this place is a load center. What does that mean? As we talk about the load, we are talking about we have some load in the aerospace, and for some of this load, they are actually providing scientific support. And also we have the ground station to monitor the space missions. This is also a core place for us. So every day for our engineer and scientists, they're actually managing some of the projects carrying out in the outer space. So in this place is actually the headquarters of the laboratory. There were so many functions in this place. When I first stepped inside of this place, when I looked at all of this information, I was quite impressed. Yes, I believe all of you have been aware that in the big screen, you could see the parameters for some of the equipment in our space station, and also we have different positions, occupations. For example, we have the monitors. They will monitor the situation of the equipment in the space station, and also we will upload some of the information and instructions to the space. And also we will have dialogue and communication with the taikonauts. All of us work together to maintain and promote the application of all the programs. In the past, actually, Tiangong is the place for all of the legends. And today, we will continue to explore the unknown mysteries in the space. So this is how we work today. On June the 5th, Chen Dong, Liu Yang, and Xuzhe, the 3 taikonauts, took Shenzhou 14 and enter into Tiangong, and also they're entering into the Tianhe core module, and also they are receiving the Wentian lab module on July the 24th. And actually today the class will take place from the Wentian lab module. So first I would like to introduce the Wentian lab module. So for the Wentian lab module, the length is quite high. It's about like 17.9 meters. The diameter is 4.2 meters, and the takeoff weight is 23 tons. So for all these lab modules composed of working module, airlock chamber, and the resource module. Actually, it is the first lab module in China Space Station. It will provide a lot of support for our missions carried out in the space. So Mr. Song just gave us some basics about the Wentian lab module, and also we have a lot of experiment cabinets. For example, we have the variable gravity science lab cabinet, the scientific glove box, and the experiment cabinet for biotechnology, and also the experiment cabinet for the life ecology. And this will help us to learn more about different programs and projects. And later the taikonauts will show us more about these cabinets. So for the experiment cabinets, actually concentrates a lot of wisdom from the scientists. So for each one of the cabinets, they could compare as one separate laboratory. So actually for each one of them, it's quite small, it's less like 2 cubic meters. It could support different types of research. And also for the taikonauts, they could do a variety of experiments in the cabinets. This is quite amazed for all different kinds of lab cabinets. So think about it, why we want to bring all of these laboratory cabinets into the space? The boy on the first row. In the space, actually the environment is quite special. It's microgravity, and also it has the radiation. The environment is quite unique. We could see phenomena that we are not able to see on the ground. So that's why for the scientists, they would like to learn more about this phenomenon, and they too want to have more achievements. Well said. Yes, indeed. Because in the space, the environment is quite different. Especially, I would like to emphasize it is microgravity. On the Earth, so we could feel the gravity, but in the space, we are not able to see the gravity. So that's why in the past 2 lectures, we are seeing different kinds of experiments. For example, we are able to see the beautiful blue ball and also the beautiful liquid bridge. And for the scientists, they could compare the phenomena on Earth and in the space. So we are trying to add in or remove some of the elements to do the scientific work. And that is the way how we conduct all of these programs. Can you give us some example about the variable conditions? I believe you taste different kinds of vegetables. So for the vegetables, they grow in different conditions. So for example, in some of the vegetables, they are able to grow in dark places where others require sunlight. So we are able to control the sunlight condition to affect the growth of the vegetables. So of course, later on we will show you more experiments. So this sounds very interesting. For these vegetables, they taste quite different. Maybe this is because some of them receive sunlight and some of them are not able to receive sunlight. I think if you're able to grow some of the vegetables in the space, maybe you're able to taste the flavor of the gravity. Actually, for the Earth, we have the oxygen and also we have the sunlight. And in the space, it is in a microgravity environment. Maybe we're able to grow vegetables in a different way. So how to bring the vegetables into space. I think this is very important mission for us. So this is very important for us to learn more about the life ecology. For the scientists, they actually done a lot to learn how the vegetables grow in the space. Some people may send out samples to the space, such as the wheat and also the rice. At the beginning, people paid attention to the survival and the development of the seed. And later on, they would like to have some intervention to breed better seeds. However, for some of the vegetables, they may have a latency for the flowering, and the scientists need to find out more methods to breed better plants. I believe this time for Wentian, he actually brings two types of the vegetables into the space. One is the Arabidopsis and the one is rice. And for the scientists, they would like to bring two representative plants into the space. And this will better help us to do the research and scientific studies. So by doing that, for the scientists, they could understand the differences of the growing and the planting procedures. So for the Arabidopsis and the wheat, there are two different types of the plants. So for the Arabidopsis, it is a kind of crucifery, and for the wheat, it could represent crops. And actually, this is kind of a short day plant. So what are some of the missions by these two plants? So let's see how the scientists say about these two plants.
Hello to students, my name is Zhou Huitun. Starting from 2002, my team has utilized the cargo ship and also the core module to study the higher plant growth. So we would like to look into how the environment impact the growth and development of the plants. And based on our study, it seems like, yes, indeed, the environment impact a lot. We look at the microgravity, so the direction actually changed because there is no the upward or downward growth. And that's because of the microgravity. And also we're looking at the flowering time and also the seedling timing is all changed. So in order to better understand the rules and laws behind, so this time we select the gene. So we actually designed a 3 flowering time for the Arabidopsis. So that's the before the scheduled time flowering and on time flowering and delayed time flowering. So we look into these comparative studies, and we would like to conclude to the result about the inflorescence. And this is also the first time we bring the seed-to-seed growth of rice to the space. So going forward, we like to utilize the results we got this time from Arabidopsis and rice. So hope that we can study the second and also the third generation of the space-grown seeds, to study the seed-to-seed growth and also to look into the behind the genomic sequencing and also the gene impact, and also we can also improve the efficiency of the space crops. Thank you, Madam Zhao. So we talk about like flowering actually is really closely related to the gene expression, and also by changing the one factor in the gene sequencing, we could see that the different timing of flowering of Arabidopsis in space. So keep your eyes close to all these Arabidopsis and also look into these comparative studies. Well, on ground, on September 9th, we also grow a seed on the earth, on ground. We actually received the same or identical seed on ground. So we grow our seed on ground, and also later on, maybe we can compare to the seed growing in space. Growing the same seed we also grow the same dream of hope. So let's work together to record the growth of the seed from the very beginning of the germination to growth to development. So during this time period, students took special care of all these seedlings during the whole process. They spent a lot of effort to look into the growth. And so they have the questions, and also they set the hypothesis and try to look out the answers. And today, the students actually bring their plants to this main venue and hope that we can compare the plants between Earth and space. So a tiny seed actually unveiled the secrets of space, and also our taikonauts are ready to bring us to the universe of the mysteries. So now we are ready. So let's give a warm applause to welcome our 3 taikonauts. There is no end to unveil the mysteries of space. Hello, class. My name is Chen Dong, commander of Shenzhou 14. We are very happy in our Wentian live module to continue our journey to unveiling the universe. Hello to you. My name is Liu Yang. Looking forward to today's lecture. Hello, I'm Cai Xuzhe, and during today's class, I'll be the cameraman. So follow my camera to enjoy the beauty of the space. And this is our 3rd class. So I believe that you waited for a very long time. So finally, today, we change our classroom, continue our journey. So before we start our class, Liu Yang and I will first give you a little bit tour about our new classroom. And by the way, this is our Wentian live module. Let's check this out. Wentian live module. This is our very first live module. It has a complete life supporting system and also the facilities we need every day. And this is our living and sleeping module, and this also provide additional beds for the astronauts and taikonauts coming to the space. So inside Wentian module, so our sleeping quarters direction actually different from core module. So it's in horizontal in the core module, but here is in vertical direction. And of course you cannot sleep in this direction on Earth, but right now we are in a microgravity. So any direction will feel the same. So by the design purpose, we can to arrange different direction our sleeping banks. So let's moving forward. I'm floating to this living area. So here you can find our kitchen. So you could see the living microwave and the drinking tablet, and also similar as we have in the core module. And on the other side, this is what we move from core module, and this is our cycle, our back here. In front of our special designed back, that's the hiding place. So far you could understand that the lab module actually can provide the life support systems for the taikonauts and also equipped with complete control management system. And if the core module actually encounters some emergency, then the Wentian life module can serve as the full backup to the space station's key systems. So far we know that there is sleeping quarters, and living areas, kitchens, and now coming to the key part of the lab module, that's the workspace. So you know that we have that cabinet, and also in the previous lecture we introduced some of the cabinets to our students, and also look at we have this time we actually have some new ones on board the Wentian lab module. We have glove boxes at the top. So later on, we will select samples of plants. So these glove boxes provide a very clean and sealed place, so we can make sure that our experiment can be controlled and also in a very simple manner. So later on, we'll also have a tiny robotic arm to help us to assist the experiment, and also later on we can also do the precise operation, so that help us to conduct the operation on the cell level. And at the bottom, that is a refrigerator with temperature as low as -80 degrees Celsius, and that's also help to store samples. So we can also change the temperature to -2 degrees and to -40 degrees as well. And here, this is our life science and ecology experiment cabinet, and this is a platform to conduct the experiment on single objects. You could see that divided into different units or in different rooms. Different room actually specialize for different objects. It's kind of like a hotel room for different animals and plants. So the results we got here, that can actually provide a foundation for us to stay a longer time period in space, even in Mars. So think about that. Later on, we will also look at the aerobioses. So which room stays? Please stay tuned. And look at this black box. And this is the radiator meters to help us to measure the radiation level. So help us to put a close eye on the radiation level in the cabin.
Now we move to another cabinet. So for this one, it's actually the experiment cabinet for the biotechnology. It will focus on the protein analysis and also the cells and tissue analysis. We have many equipment inside of this cabinet. So this is also a mini lab in the space. So earlier, Ye Guangfu have gave us some introduction about the cell studies. So for this cabinet, it will help us to learn more about the microorganisms. On my right-hand side, it is the variable gravity experiment cabinet. So this will provide different levels of the gravity. Let's take a look at this cabinet. So inside of the cabinet, we have two round discs. These are the turners, and for each one of them, they are equipped with different units. So we could use all of these units separately or use it all together. So for this one, we are talking about the centrifugal force. So we are able to provide the gravity environment. By using these experimental gravities, we are able to provide different kinds of experiments related to the biotechnology, gravity effects, and also the fluid items. So this is the introduction. Any questions?
来，有哪位同学想和陈东老师进行问答互动？
Any questions?
那第二排左起第5名男生吧。
陈东老师您好，我是来自中国科学院附属实验学校的学生。
I'm from the affiliated middle school from the Chinese Academy of Science. So right now we're able to see different kinds of experimental cabinets in the space. I was quite impressed.
你们要展开的流体研究比较感兴趣。
So I'm quite interested about the microgravity fluid cabinet. So my question is why we want to do a lot of experiments about the fluid studies. Thank you.
好，谢谢你的提问。
Thank you for your question.
流体在我们日常生活中
So for
担任着
fluid,
非常重要的
it is very essential in our daily life.
空间站的建设和
It is the same for the construction for the China's
那我们空
space
间站
station.
最显著的特点
For the
就
space
是微重
station,
力环境。
you could see we are having this microgravity environment.
与地面会有
So in such an environment, the movement of the fluid is quite different as of the ground. Water is a very common seeing fluid, and in the past 2 lectures, we're able to show you some of the magical movement of the water, and also we are using some of the fluid field for the carrier rocket. In the microgravity environment, the movement of the fluid is quite different here. So if we use the fluid the same way as we did on the Earth, this must create a lot of problems. Now I would like to show you another experiment so that you could better understand the difference. So this is the container. I am putting some of the pigment. So now I'm using different kinds, different shape of the tubes, and now I would like to put the tube inside of the container. Shall it be the same? So before I do this experiment, please try it. Let's see what happened on Earth. Alright, now I'm able to see some of the results. Now you could see the water is rising, the liquid is flowing. Now it's my turn. Pay attention to this experiment. So just look at this one. It rises very fast. It rises to the top. So for the other 2 tubes, now you could see the water rises very slowly. So actually in the space, without the impact of the gravity, now you could see we have a stronger surface tension, and this will drive the liquid flowing upwards. So in the end, for all of the liquid, they will float to the top of the tube. This is also because of the impact of the surface tension. Now for this one, you could see it is quite wider, but the liquid is able to reach to the top. So this experiment seems very simple, but there are many principles behind it. So for the scientists, they have to learn more, and also they have to learn these principles to resolve some of the problems. For example, for some of the combustion system and also the power system for the aircraft, we have to use this kind of the capillary phenomenon. And for some of the liquids, if they vibrate fiercely, this will actually have some danger for the engine of the aircraft. Now I would like to show you another experiment to see how we mitigate the vibration. So this is the water ball we have made earlier. So let's see the vibration of the liquid and the liquid solid mixture under the same impact in microgravity environment. So first, I would like to push in some of the air. Just take a look. We do see a very fierce vibration. But how to mitigate the impact of the vibration? Now I would like to put a hollow iron ball inside of the water ball. Let's see what happened. For the steel ball, it enters into the water ball, but it feels like for this water ball, it could pull back the steel ball. Now I would like to do it again to push in some of the air. Now you could see we are able to mitigate the vibration. It feels like the water ball is getting lazy. Now I would like to do it again. So for this experiment, when we are adding the steel ball, it actually changed the movement of the vibration of the liquid. Just think about it. Why this happens? Can we use this principle for some of the application in our daily life? Now I'm actually getting a little bit of thirsty. Now I would like to show you how I drink water in space. In Earth, we use quite short straw to drink the water. But if you have very long straw, it takes you some efforts to get the water. But today I would like to use a 2-meter long straw to drink the water. Have a guess. Let's see if I can drink the water successfully.
Yes, I got it. It's a very easy task for me. It's mango juice. On Earth, because of gravity, we use a straw to drink water. So you need to spend a lot of efforts if you dip through a long straw. But here, the gravity is gone, so just by a very easy effort, I can use this crazy long straw to drink the juice. So here I am here. So besides the previous two experiments, that's the capillarity in space and vibration of a liquid and liquid solid mixture in space. Here we come to another experiment. So this is a T-handle. Let's say we use it a lot in space. Let's see when we spin it. Let's spin the smaller one. So look at this, right? It's tumble end over end. So you could see that it spin around and flip back and forth. So let's try another one. So look at this color end. So you could see that sometimes you could see that the right dots, look it closely, you can see sometimes on the left, then turn to the right and then back to the left side. See that? So let's try these two together to see the similarity and differences. Alright, you could see that they have a different gesture of rotation, right? But they are very naughty ones. So we look at that's a tumbling T handle, but think about this. What's the reason behind? Why T handle is dancing and also flowing and over and? So let's see, if we rotate this direction, it's very stable, right? It's not really tumble and over and. Let's turn this way. Can you see this? So right now it's flip back and forth. So this is called the Janibekov effect. So it's named after a Russian astronaut. So this is what we see that because of the distribution of mass and also the rotation axis. So it's very hard to achieve on ground, but it's just a normal phenomenon we see in space. It's not finished yet. Let me show you another one. So for this object, if we rotate it, think about this. And this is your homework, and you can tag the answer after the lecture.
同学们，空间站为我们提供了长期微重力环境。
So the whole space station provides the microgravity environment, and we can observe something different from the Earth. So it also can help us to understand the scientific law and the rules. So besides all these very interesting phenomena, we also work together with experts and scientists to understand the reason behind. So back to Shenzhou 11, actually you actually plant the cabbage in Tiangong 2. So yes, we actually plant the seed and also to keep a close eye on its growth, development, and also coming to the harvest. So not long ago, we also enjoyed a cabbage plant by Mr. Xuzhe. So that's the lettuce. It's very tasty lettuce, and we actually enjoyed that during the Mid-Autumn Festival. And what else we have here? We have rice. It's looking very nice. So talking about plants. So to the class, hope you still can remember that not long ago we plant and grow the seed of Arabidopsis. Let's check what we got here. So before we check our homework in space, let me check your homework on Earth. So maybe I call out students in Yunnan. So anyone can answer the question given by her taikonaut.
航天员老师好，我是云南大理州实验小学
Hello.
6年级的学生梅子妍。
My name is Mei Ziyan from the Dali New Sanctuary Middle School, grade 6.
早开花型和对照组
So we actually had the comparative studies of the Arabidopsis, and we record every day. So let me report to you what we got here so far.
过了3天
So 3 days after growing, the control group and the scientific group, we could see that the seedling is a very tiny, small ones, but after 10 days, you could see that the scientific group first grow the 4 leaves. It's faster than the control group. And also on the 3rd of the October, and we actually see the very small white flower. But actually, the Arabidopsis in the control group, it's not really seen the flower yet. So we could see that the what we got in the scientific experiment group, that's the early flowering Arabidopsis. So that's very interesting, and we hope to understand the whole seed-to-seed growth of Arabidopsis. Very nice, well done. So you could be a scientist later on in the future. I'm very glad to also tell you that the Arabidopsis here in space is also looking good, and you could see these pictures, and this is what we recorded early on, and also today we also together to take some samples of the Arabidopsis and we put in the glove boxes, and later on we will store samples and will be brought back to Earth for further analysis. So let me put the glasses on. So you could see this is the very first MR glasses. So with the glasses, I can finish the sample collection in a very safe and efficient way. So you could see that right now I provide you with this angle. So this you could see that we have this the FPV, and you could see that here you could see 6 holes, and number 3 and number 4 the Arabidopsis, we could see that already flowering, but here number 1, 2 not coming to the flowering stage yet. And also could see the other Arabidopsis also in a very small size. So first let me take a photo. Take a picture. Take a picture and send the picture. Display the screen.
Display the guide. Alright, all the toolkits are ready. Hide the screen. Now I'm able to pick some of these Arabidopsis. First, I would like to open the cover. Use a scissors. I will start from this one. Put the cover back. So alright, this is one of the sample of the Arabidopsis. So after the class, I will continue to pick the samples, and also I will put it into the low temperature storage box. So after I get all the samples, I will put it into the storage cabin with minus Celsius 80 degree, and then I will bring all of these samples to the scientists on the ground. Talking about the aerobic doses, actually I have a story to share with you. In Tiangong 2, actually it is me who bring all of these samples back to the Earth. Hopefully this time we're able to see more research results. Dear students, so in this cabinet of the life ecology, also we are raising and breeding another type of plant, which is the rice. Now I would like to show you where are the rice. Just take a look. With over 70 days of breeding, now you could see for all of these seeds, they're turning into plants. One of the objectives for the breeding is that we want to seed a seed-to-seed life cycle of the rice. In this box, now you could see two types of rice, the growing rice and the dwarf rice. During the raising of the rice, we may see something different. Right at the beginning, we are able to see some of the water drops on the leaves of the rice. And also for these droplets, they will get bigger and then they will stick to the box. So actually, this is what we call degradation. In the microgravity environment, we are able to see this kind of phenomenon. Now you could see so many droplets of the water on the wall of this box. So I want to ask you questions. So when you are raising the rice, are you able to see this phenomenon of guttation? Why you don't see so many water droplets, but in the space station, we could see this phenomenon? This is your homework. So in August, we start to raise the rice and the wheat, and in October, we're able to see the harvest. We're expecting that in the future we're able to get more crops in the space station. I hope in the near future, in the moon and in Mars, we're able to grow more crops. But this is your mission in the future. For all of these samples, they are treasures for the space station, and also this is because of the efforts for all the taikonauts. And today we're able to see a lot of harvest of the crops, and at the same time, I believe you're able to learn a lot of knowledge. So that is the lecture part. Now it's the Q&A session. Feel free to ask the questions. I believe all of you have a lot of questions to ask. So first, I would like to give the floor to the classroom in Beijing. Any questions?
那我们请第3排最里面那位女同学回答问题吧。
The girl on the 3rd row.
航天员老师好，我是来自
Good
人大
afternoon.
附中航天城学校的学
I'm
生。
from
您刚才说
Renda
生命
Affiliated
生
Middle
态柜
School.
是动植物的太
You
空
just
旅
talk
馆。
about
那
that
么以
for
后还会
the
有什么样
experiment
的动
cabinet
植
for
物住在
ecology
太空
is
旅馆
actually
里
the
呢？
hotel
谢谢。
for the plants. So what are some of the plants coming to this hotel in the future?
好，这个问题提到了动物，
Thank you for your
我
question.
比较有发言权，我来回答。
I would like to take your question.
我在神舟11号任务的时候呢，
When I carry my mission in Shenzhou 11, I'm able to raise worm, silkworm. They're quite lovely, and right now in the space station, it is more advanced and developed. And this time, we're able to grow the Arabidopsis and the rice. And in the future, we are able to grow the zebrafish. And I believe they will adapt to this environment. And also we're able to monitor the temperature and humidity in all of these boxes. And we are able to take photos and also to make some videos of all of these creatures, so that for people from the earth, they understand the conditions for these plants. That must be very interesting. Thank you. Now I would like to invite students from Shandong to ask the question.
好，同学们，我们期待已久的解惑环节到了。大家
Now
有
is
什么
the
问题说
Q&A
一下，
session.
请航天员老师们帮我们解惑吧。
Please raise your question.
好，这位女生。
航天员老师好。
Good afternoon.
我是山东省菏泽第一
I'm
中
from
学
Heze
高一
number 1
年级
middle
的
school.
我想请
Shan.
教一下，
I want
太
to
空
ask
中
you a
没有
question.
上下左右，
In the
并
space,
且
we
感
don't
受
have
不到重力。
direction.
那
We
为什
cannot
么
feel the
你的
gravity.
叶和水稻的根还能向下扎到土壤和
But
土壤
why
里呢？谢谢。
the root of the Arabidosis and the rice could still settled in the space?
这个问题我来回答吧。
Maybe I will take the question.
谢谢这位同学提出了
First of all, thank you for your question. Very interesting indeed.
空间站虽然没有
In the space station, even though we don't have any gravity, however, for the root, they could grow inside of the soil.
不仅具有相重性
This because for all of these plants, they grow towards gravity and moisture. So in the soil, it is full of moisture and water. So that's why during the germination period, for the seed of the rice and the Arabidosis, they will grow towards the gravity. So for the stem and also the root, maybe they will not grow in the same direction.
好的，那我们山东的同学还
All
有问
right.
题吗？
Any more questions from Shandong?
好，同学们，我们还有解惑机会哦，抓住这个
We
机
still
会。
have the opportunity to ask the question.
好，这位男同学。
航天员老师好。
Good afternoon.
我是山东省菏泽第一
I'm
中
from
学
Heze number
尹
1
正
middle
涵
school in
我想请教
Zhenhan.
一下，植物在太空
My
中的生
question
长周
is
期
that for the
和在
life
地球上
cycle
相
of
比
the plant
有什么
in
不同
space,
吗？
is this any difference
谢谢。
as compared to the Earth?
我想同学是不是在种植拟南芥的时候想到了这个
I
问题？
believe when you are growing the
由我们的
Arabidosis, you
蔡
may
老
come up
师
with this
来给解
question.
答一下。
Maybe Mr. Tsai can answer your question.
这是个有意思的问题。
This is a very interesting question.
太空微粒子环境
In the space,
对
we
植
are
物
in
成
the
长发育的
microgravity
很多方面都
environment.
有影响。
It may have a lot of impact for the development and the growing of the plants. For the scientists, they have done a lot of experiments. So under microgravity
很多植物
environment,
在太空中的生长周期
it will
发生变
affect
化。
the life cycle of the plants.
陈东老师他们在太空2号
For example, Chen Dong has just mentioned that for some of the
生长周期
plants,
就差不多。
they may
而
bloom
同样在
late.
太空2号里
And for other kind of plants, they may grow slowly inside of the space cabinet. However, they tend to live longer. This is also quite interesting to observe.
我们下面请河南的同学来提问吧。
Now let's turn over to Henan province to see
好，
if the
同学们
students，have
机会
any
难得，
questions.
有想向航天员老师提问的同学，请
So
举起
any
举手。
questions? Please raise your hand.
好，那我们请坐在第3排的这位同学，你来提问。
航天员老师，您好。
Hello to
我是
all
河
the
南省实验小
taikonauts.
学的毛圆圆。
My name is Mao
我的问
Yuanyuan.
题是，在太空中
My
种
question
植
is,
植物能否接受到超
to
级的
grow
光照？
plants, can the plants receive enough the A sunlight? That's the A light provided by the lights inside the cabinet or the natural light?
这个问题让我想到了，我们也
So this question reminds me that we also not enjoyed sunshine for quite a long time. I invite Ms. Liu to answer your question. All right, I believe this is the question a lot of students may also have. So you could see that a lot of the plants are actually in the cabinet, right? So they cannot enjoy the natural sunlight. But here we have the ambient light or the lamp light. We can change a spectrum of lights to fulfill the requirements of the growth and development of the plant. And also the scientists also provide and design the different conditions of a light based on the growth needs of the plant. Although right now we cannot enjoy the natural lights, but I believe with the development of science and technology, maybe in the near future we can use the natural light to cultivate the plants. I believe that you could provide an answer to this question. I believe the answer may be from you.
好，那继续请河南的同学来提问吧。
So maybe another question from Henan.
同学们，我们还有提问的机会，请大家一定要积极争取。我们有请第5排右起第3张桌子的这位同学进行提问。
航天员老师，你好。
To the taikonauts, Fu Ruixin from Luoyang province. I would like to know the mechanical clock and also atomic clock. So work the same in Earth and in space, and see a microgravity affect anything in space? That's another very interesting question. Let me take this question. For you could see that the electronic watch operates smoothly and normally. But you talk about that mechanical watch that still operates. It depends on what type. So we could see that if that's a pendulum, then that cannot work because that's rely on the gravity, so that could not work. But to give you a spoiler that later on we will install a cold atom watch. Later on will also arrive in the core module with Wentian lab module. Previously, actually, we had a cold atom clock that also provides the extreme accuracy of timing. And also this time we also used improved a cold atom clock. So with a lot of anticipation, so that will provide ultra high precision of timing. So let's turn to Yunnan.
好的，同学们，我们有什么问题想向航天员老师请教的呢？
Any questions?
好，第3排的那位女同学。
航天员老师好。
Hello, the 3 taikonauts. I'm from Xiaguan Middle School. My name is Zhang Beixi. My question is, in space station, can you feel that turbulence? And also can you see the other satellites? So maybe let me take your question. So when you take vehicles, the trains or cars or airplanes, of course there's a turbulence, right? But in space, there's no gravity, and there's also no airflow. And also in addition, we have a CMG installed. So it could provide a very stable environment for us, so we cannot really feel the turbulence. So talk about other.
太空中几乎没有大气，能见度非常好。但是由于每个航天器
the space vehicle. So for the different space vehicle or spacecraft, they have a different designated orbit. So it's very hard to just rely on the bare eyes to observe the other vehicles. But we know actually in ISS, we also have colleagues working there, and we explore the universe and try to benefit the human beings with our hard work. So maybe another question from Yunnan.
还有一次宝贵的机会，哪些同学还有问题？好，我们请第2排穿白族服装的这个女同学提问。
航天员老师，您好，我是云南
Hello.
省大理州大理市少年艺术学校的学生陈书涵。
My name is Chen Dong from Dali.
在宇宙中看到的地球
So,
有几种颜色？
how many colors can you see about Earth from
谢谢。
the space, and what is the most beautiful color? All right, let me take your question. I really like your question. We orbit the Earth in every 90 minutes. So from our angle, the color of the planet actually is not in the fixed colors. So when the orbit in the sunny side, we could see a yellow, that's the soil color. We could see also the white color, that's the snow-capped mountain, and also could see the color of the desert, the color of the ocean. We also could see that the clouds as well. But when in the shade part, we could see that the lights of the cities that highlighted the beauty of our planet. So talk about the most beautiful color. For myself, I like the color that sometimes that's in golden color, some is in blue, or sometimes in purple. That's the atmospheric glow. That's very, very beautiful. So I really like that air glow color. So that's our cameraman in space. He actually have taken a lot of beautiful pictures. Later on, he maybe also share with our students. Maybe another question from Beijing.
请同学们举手，抓住这次机会。有哪位同学？来，第2排这位女生吧。
航天员老师好，
Good
我是
afternoon.
来自北京市中科起源学校初中部的
I'm
学
from
生。
Beijing.
今天我想问您，就是前
My question
年
is,
4月份，我听
in
说
April
我
last
国
year,
进行了第4批
I
预
heard
备
that
航天员的竞
we
选。
started the
请
recruitment
问
of the
我
fourth
应该
batch
怎样
of
做
the
才能成为一
taikonauts?
名合
So
格
what
的
should I
航天
do
员
to
呢？
become a
谢谢老
qualified
师。
taikonaut? Thank you.
我非常非常开心听到这样的
I'm
提问。
so glad
希望
to hear such a
今天的天
question.
宫课堂也能够
So
在
I
更
hope
多的
today
同学们心里种下航天的种子。
For the Tiangong Class,
就像你刚才
it
说
will
的，
inspire more young
我已
people
经
to
启动
join the
了
aerospace
4批
undertaken.
预备航
As
天
you
员的选
said,
拔。
China has
这
already
次
started
将
the
从
recruitment for the
海
fourth
陆
batch
空3军
of
现役飞行员中
the
选拔航天员。
taikonauts, and actually they will recruit from different disciplines, and also they will also recruit some of the load experts from Macau and Hong Kong, and also we will recruit some of the engineers
严格的选拔和训练。
for the space
我相信
station.
只要你
And
坚定
you
理
have to
想
go through a
认
lot
真
of
学习
screening
好好锻炼身体
before you get
未来
qualified.
一定有
Make
机
sure
会
you study
加入到
hard and
光
also
荣
do
的
a lot of
航天员
exercise.
队
I
中
believe in the near
让种子
future
最
you will
终在
become
太空
one
中
of us,
结出
and
甜美的
making
果
sure
实。
that in the
我
future
们在
you will
空间
also
站
able
等
to
你来
step
出差。
onto the space, and we are waiting for you in the space
同学
station.
们，时间过得真快啊！
Dear
本
students,
次天宫课堂
time
就要结
flies,
束了。
and that comes
感
to the
谢
end
3位航天员
for
老师
the
的精
Tiangong
彩授
class.
课。
Thank you
在
for
这
3
里，
taikonauts
也
for
让我
their
们一起
excellent
预祝
lecturing.
神舟14
So
号乘组
also, we would like to wish the crew of the Shenzhou 14 to complete the mission successfully. We are here waiting for you, coming back in victory. Thank you. In October, we have spent this memorable time together, and soon Wentian lab module will be sent to the space soon, and also we will witness the great moment for the completion of the construction of the China space station. We hope in the future you could create a better future for our space home. For our strong nation give us opportunity to realize our dream. I hope all of you to work hard and pursue your dreams, making sure that you do your best to realize the Chinese dream. It is quite fortunate for us to live in such a great era. We hope that our journey is the sea of stars. Let's work together to create a brighter future. Flying to the space is always our dream, and we never give up exploring science. So that is the Tiangong class. See you next time. Thank you again for the taikonauts.
再见。
And today, in the Tiangong class, we're able to see the mystery of the Wentian lab module, and also we're able to learn some of the phenomena of the experiments in space. On top of that, for the taikonauts, they are also using different kinds of physical experiments to show us the mysteries of physics. And also we are learning some of the plant growth research projects. So in the future, we will have more experiments coming up for the Wentian lab module, so we are able to learn more about these phenomena. And also we are getting ready to conquer all the challenges that were posed by the space. And soon, Wentian lab module will be launched soon, and it will also dock the Tiangong module, and also we will have a complex with Wentian and the Wentian module, and in the Wentian lab module it will have more experimental cabinets. We are quite looking forward for the launch of the Wentian module. So everything we have done today is for a brighter future. And today we will complete the construction of the China space station. And this will become the largest space facilities in China. And I believe for the space station will become a key part for China to build itself into a major power in the aerospace. I believe for the CSS will help us to learn more about the origin and source of our life and unveil the mystery of the universe. And today marks the 30th anniversary of our manned space program. This also requires a lot of efforts for our pioneers. And in the future, we will step for a brighter future. And I believe all of you will be part of the journey to the sea of stars. We need you for our future endeavor. There's no end to unveil the mysteries of space. See you next time.
And that there was a science lecture delivered from China's space station by the astronauts there, Chen Dong, Liu Yang, and Xuzhe. So Professor Yang Yinguang is here in the studio watching this with me. Professor Yang, so I'm not going to lie, when the astronauts were telling us to think for ourselves, why these experiments looked the way they did, I honestly did not know the answer, but I'm guessing no surprises for you there with any of these experiments.
Well, yes, these experiments are very, very interesting, and even I don't know some of the answers.
Really?
So, really, yes. So you can see that also we get a review back to the history. Look, you can see that the experiments we taught today is more and more complex and more interesting comparing with the experiments about in 2013, always 10 years before. So I believe that in future we can see more interesting and meaningful experiments. And moreover, you see that today it is the first time that the Wentian module, the whole module, was shown to the audience, not only to the pupils and the high school students. Yes, and the astronauts. What interests me most is the details in the Wentian module. I believe that.
What did you like most about that, though?
Well, you see that what interests me most is the scientific research racks. These racks are dedicated for the life science and also the biological study. So not only you see that the growth of the rice or the vegetables, but in the future maybe animals. So this is very interesting in the future. And also you see that we can see the dawn of the space-based manufacturing. You see that of the space industry. We can see these kind of experiments are the preparation or the rudiment of the future space manufacturing, or even we can say that the space economy. So I think that you will already heard the students ask questions, how can they become astronauts? I think this is not only the requirement of the space industry, but also in the future maybe the requirement of the whole scientific research and also the high technology. So that's really, really meaningful. And I hope the next time the class can be conducted in the Wentian module.
But actually that's interesting. I'm talking about the next lot of recruitment as well. The next crew going up there, there's going to be a lot of engineers and
scientists.
People, scientists, exactly. People who will be, doing more of that for us and showing us more of the differences up in space, right?
Yes, you see that today our technology has already become more and more practical. We are already turning from the stage of mastering technology to the phase of scientific research. So I believe that in the future we can have more scientists and engineers. Not like now, we only have the astronauts from the pilots.
And just one very last quick question, Professor Yang. So if you were drinking from a 2-meter straw here on Earth, how long do you think that would take you?
Pardon?
That 2-meter straw that Liu Yang was drinking from with the juice, how long do you think it would take us here on Earth to drink from that straw?
As Liu Yang has already mentioned, because of the influence of the gravity, so it is really difficult for us to overcome the gravity and in this 2-meter distance. So in the outer space, it's a phenomenon. Really, really different.
That was great. Well, that was a really great class to see. Thank you so much for joining us as well, Professor Yang Yu Guang.
You're welcome.
And that will do it for our special coverage of the science lecture conducted from the space station. And we'll leave you now with some of the highlights. I'm Jiayang in Beijing. Thank you for watching.